Salutations!
Welcome to the Film Mages Podcast, where the popcorn is our ammunition, the couch is our foxhole, and the cinema is our place of worship.
Now let me see your war face. Ah!
Oh my goodness. We're back.
We're here.
We're here.
Here we are.
All three of us.
Oh.
Well, maybe
hold
maybe
on.
not all three.
Hang on. Is it just the two of us?
Ooh, we can make it if we try.
Just the two of us.
You and I.
Oh. Have we summoned her? No,
Yeah.
she's struggling with the door.
She can't get the door
having
open.
a hard time.
There she
Yay.
is.
Yay.
Fresh out of
Hello.
the jacuzzi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Alexis.
Oh, yeah. We
she's
got...
Yeah. So,
Hey, it's episode 50 of the
that's
Film
right.
Majors.
This is episode 50.
Hello.
Unbelievable.
And for old time's sake,
Yeah.
Alexis is both physically present
But late.
and late.
And late. That's a skill.
And you know, in the past, it was kind of mean to start before Alexis because
A little, yeah.
You know, she
Not a lot,
she
but-
lives somewhere else. Mick and I live together. We've got all the equipment.
Yeah, but-
today,
Yeah.
Alexis is staying in the building.
Yeah.
By the way, hello,
By
I'm
the way,
Zach.
I'm Mick.
Hi, I'm Alexis.
Yay!
It's Alexis.
And yeah, it's our 50th episode, Film Majors Spectacular.
That's 50.
We're-
50.
It's the earliest we've ever recorded.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been this low energy on the podcast, and we've definitely recorded after I've gotten off of work before.
Yeah, this is impressive. It's 4 a.m.
I'm
And
freshly showered, damp daddy out here.
oh yeah,
Oh,
it's not
that's
Boy
amazing.
Sweat Alexis.
Not Boy Sweat Alexis.
And it's not going to be Boy Sweat Alexis because today we've conjured a hurricane.
Yeah, here I
We're
am.
recording from the eye, not you.
Rock me like a hurricane.
I don't want to rock you.
No, thank you.
But yeah, we are recording from the eye of Hurricane Hillary in
Yep.
Los Angeles, California. And I've got to say,
It's a mild drizzle.
I'm not even really seeing any rain out there.
It was raining when I drove over here this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
not bad.
All right.
I didn't vote for Hillary, and here she is to ruin our day.
My God.
Oh, great. Are we gonna get into politics today? Is it gonna be politics corner on the Film Majors?
the 50th episode. We're talking about
The 2016 election.
More like the 2016 Alexis.
Stand into Lexus.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram, Film Majors Pod. You'll get it.
But Alexis, now that you're here,
Yes.
I really wanted to ask you, what the fuck is going on?
Whoa.
You know what? You know what's so funny is that I watched Risky Business with my sister.
That's
And-
crazy.
I watched Risky Business with my sister, and there's this line in the movie that's like, sometimes you just gotta say, what the fuck? You know?
Yes.
Because
I say that many times
yeah,
myself.
you know what? Me and my sister, we've been saying that to each other now. She's like, you know what? Like,
You've been
sometimes
saying,
you just
"What the
gotta
fuck?"
say, what the fuck? And just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're just doing it right now. It's
Yeah.
our famous segment, What's Going On? We talk about what's going on. And Alexis has already just so clinically efficiently gotten us right into a film that she watched, Risky Business.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Lay it down. The big TC.
I feel like I've lost out on something. I may need to rewatch it because I forgot that part in Scream where,
Rose McGowan.
yeah, she's like, you know, I'm
If
gonna.
you pause it at the right moment,
That's
you can
right.
see his penis.
Did you do it?
No, because I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, Alexis showed up and was like, I watched Risky Business, and the very first thing that I said to her was, oh, did you pause it at the moment where you could see his penis?
And I was like, what? But no, for real, that shit, softcore porn.
Wow. That's Alexis's alarm, everybody. Alexis, it's time to wake up. She's in prime form today.
Okay.
This is fucking awesome. This is so. We're playing all the goddamn hits.
I think it makes sense that this is
You know
our
what?
50th
Get
episode.
Mitchie in here.
I'm a snoozer. I think that was the 6th snooze because I was supposed to wake up at 7:30.
What's the phrase? You snooze, you win? Something like that.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take a big L because I'm a big fat loser.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Alexis, L for love.
L for love.
for love.
L for love. That's from Dodgeball.
Is it?
It is.
Wow, holy shit.
Remember?
We are
Yes,
playing
I
all the-
remember.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Yeah, okay, if
I
you're
own
new,
the movie.
If you're new,
It's too early for sarcasm. My brain does not
We're
recognize.
recording an episode of the Film Majors.
Okay, well, you're going to have to
Okay,
deal with me
guys.
being gullible.
We can do
I
a.
can deal with Alexis being
Yeah,
gullible.
I will-
I'm looking forward to it.
I will gobble the gullible.
So
what
you
is
said
going on, for
risky
real?
business, low-key softcore porn, you said?
Yeah, low-key softcore porn. It's fun, but...
I saw Loki softcore porn starring Loki.
All right.
Tom Hiddleston.
We don't need to get into all that.
You know what?
pretty good.
Actually, I guess I just had a
there it is.
softcore porn week because because I also watched Red, White, and Royal Blue
Holy
with
shit.
Enrique.
Oh, boy. You
So-
mean the end
so
roommate?
you're the one then. Oh my god.
Yeah, not obviously a great movie.
Really?
But okay, I recognize that one there. That's fine.
So that was genuine.
No, no, it's not. Yeah, you couldn't. It's a white woman basically writing gay fan fiction.
Classic.
That sounds like a recipe for fun.
They love to do it.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
They kind of took some liberties with the character that wasn't really in the book, and you know what? That's fine. But
This is an
Prince-
adaptation.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Prince, the guy who played the Prince is very cute. But yeah, no, there was like literally like this, and I've never seen this before in a movie, but like they did the sex scene, right? And like you're literally there for like the moment of penetration on this guy's face, like first
Wait,
time
hold on.
penetration.
Hold on. Actually, I don't want to know. Never mind. I was like, I'm gonna ask. No, I'm not gonna ask.
No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
no, but
what
it's
if
like,
we
it's
had
very-
a gorgeous young lab tech and we have Dolph Lundgren when he's not out busting heads back in the lab performing outrageous sexual experiments on her supple young body?
Oh my
Now,
god.
Oppenheimer
here's the
was a great
twist.
film.
And there is a twist. We show it. Buddy, we're going to show full penetration and we're going to show a lot of it.
It wasn't even full penetration. It was
Prime
literally just like
penetration,
it was like a
prime
medium
penetration.
shot, so like waist up, but you could see like his legs like, back quite a ways,
I hate to say it, you're kind of selling
but
me
it's
on
just
this.
I
Paint a picture.
Oh, I do
don't
know.
know how to
I do
describe
know.
like
Paint me a picture.
the moment that you know that somebody's dick went into somebody, like you can feel it in like the way somebody like breathes in, and it's strangely graphic.
So you're telling me that we have an early contender for best actor in a leading role?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like
it
that
was
scene-
like really believable.
It's like that
Like,
scene
really,
when
though.
Saruman gets stabbed in the back and he goes,
Yeah, because
It takes the wind out of you.
Christopher Lee knew what it sounded like to
get penetrated or get stabbed in the back.
Get stabbed for real. Come on, man, he's dead.
Is he?
And you
Is
know how he
Wait,
died?
I didn't even know he was sick.
Oh my
God
god.
damn it. Well, we both went bad ways with that.
So Red, White, and Royal Blue was
It's not a recommend? It's
Major
not a
Black and
recommend
Blue.
from Alexis?
That is not. It's I can't in
Well,
good
that's-
faith
that's
recommend
weird.
it. But if
that-
you like a little softcore porn and Uma Thurman doing a really bad Southern accent, like I can't like I love this woman and I cannot defend her. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, there's this girl in there, and she played Carmen, a lesbian on the L Word season 2 and season 3, and she was like the hottest thing I ever thought I'd seen. And she's in this movie.
Is she a redhead?
No, she's
Gas.
I don't know. I don't know if she's Mexican, but she's definitely a Latin woman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
she was so hot though in L Word, like back in 2005. Anyways,
All the way back in 2005.
Yeah, and then I was at the film festival I've been volunteering at.
Yes,
Short film festival.
Alexis and I
Making drinks.
were both at short film screenings. How was Salute Your Shorts?
You know what? Really fun. I mostly just work the bar, which, by the way, I'm getting pretty good at that shit.
Hell yeah.
I'm making some simple syrups. I make a really good French 75 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
and a really good whiskey sour.
Ooh.
The world needs plenty of bartenders.
Hell yeah, brother!
Zach needs plenty of whiskey sour right now in his house.
And
It's 9 a.m. somewhere.
what do we call it? The opening night
In
panel
40 minutes, it'll be 9 a.m. here.
was moderated by the Daniels, the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Ben Brewer, the guy who did visual effects on it. He was on the opening night panel, but then yesterday I actually got to see the last block, which is like the after hours block. So, I might see some body parts, might see, it's more like the horror, some of the horror genres in there too. So like it started off with this short that was called Brett Kavanaugh is Ruining My Sex Life.
Oh, my God.
And it was kind of funny. And then when I saw Ben Brewer's, and his was this like very, like I thought of Cronenberg because it's like very body horror kind of,
Nice.
where like this couple, like I told you about this. Like,
Yes, you
this
did.
couple was like, they started like melding into each other.
They start to fuse.
That's hot.
Yeah, they started to fuse and then eventually like passed all the way through each other.
Classic.
Yep.
I thought like maybe it was like a, analogy, metaphor for like codependency or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was very interesting. There's a few other shorts. There's this one where people, this group of like girlfriends like all arrived to this remote fucking place out in the desert, and they're like, one of them's like murder house. They're like, no, it's fine. They go in. There's literally the TV only has a VHS player, so they have to play the only VHS that is like in the house, and it's Desert Dwellers 3. And they're watching people arrive to the house that they just arrived at. And it just becomes this like kind of meta thing where they actually interact with the people like in the TV, like on the phone. Like it was
sounds
pretty
fun.
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, good time.
I also went to a short film screening because the 48-hour film that I shot a few weeks back screened along with the other films in our screening group at the Regal LA Live. I went and saw that. There were some good films in that group. It's fun to see what people can do given 2 days.
Yeah.
It's also sad to hear the tragic stories of people whose films didn't make it in on time, because there's like, before all of the like films that are in competition they screen any films in our group that were late. And
most of them were there.
Honestly, people did pretty good this year because I think there were 159 groups.
Did you do this last year?
No.
Oh.
But this was one of their bigger years. There were 159 groups, and 150 people made it in on time.
Wow.
But 3 of those 9 groups that didn't were in our screening group. And they seemed pretty bummed out. Here's some advice if you ever do the 48-hour film festival. Don't do an effects-heavy film.
Yeah.
Because
I love that even needs to be
I
said.
feel like
What the fuck?
We're doing motion capture.
there was at least one of the late movies where I was like, well, yeah, of course this was late.
Yeah.
You did like several different visual effects that needed to be rendered.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That takes a long fucking time.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, word from the not so wise.
Yeah, you listening, Disney? It takes a long time to do VFX, so stop cranking out these fucking shows and
slow.
unionize the VFX world,
Nice.
please.
Got it. Also, donate to the union funds in our description for the writers and actors, because they're still on
Yes,
strike.
please. Yes, please.
Yeah. So other than the 48-hour films, I've been working this week. I've been on a set.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's not being a scab. It's not a union show. Don't worry.
Nice.
But I always want to watch a little film at the end of the night. And this week, I watched a couple of classic Universal monster films. I watched both directed by James Whale. I watched The Invisible Man and The Bride of Frankenstein.
And?
The Bride of Frankenstein fucking rules.
Nice.
The Bride of Frankenstein is the best of the Universal monster movies I've seen so far. I've seen Frankenstein, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, and The Mummy.
Nice. I've only seen The Mummy, I think.
Mummy sucks.
I might have seen Frankenstein when I was a kid.
I fucking love The Mummy. Stop disrespecting me in this
The original one?
Oh.
We're talking about the
Yeah, we're talking
30s
about
Mummy.
the OG
Yeah.
The 30s Mummy sucks.
I'll just tap
That's
out
Boris
now.
Karloff.
Yeah,
right?
the 99 Mummy is I think that's Boris Karloff,
I think so, yeah.
who is fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, he's not the problem with the
Frankenstein.
movie.
Yeah,
I mean, I
but-
would say with The Mummy. He's not the problem with The Mummy.
no, the Mummy. The problem with the Mummy is that
It's boring.
yeah, it's boring, and he's mostly just like a guy during
Yeah.
that movie.
He's just a dry boy.
I want to see a mummy.
He's a dehydrated man.
But yeah, Bride of Frankenstein, really good. Boris Karloff, fucking incredible in that movie. Honestly, some good bits in that movie. And
Nice.
just generally, like, if you can't make... the thing that impresses me about The Bride of Frankenstein is that it's an hour and 15 minutes.
Wow.
Like, all of those Universal monster movies, the reason that I picked those to watch after work is that they're all, like, an hour 15 or less. I think an hour 15 is the longest that any
Really?
of them are.
Wow.
Yeah, The Invisible Man, 70 minutes. Also pretty good, but not quite as, like, compelling a character. Because, like, Frankenstein is very,
I just can't see him. Where is he?
Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of The Invisible Man, it's an effects movie, right? Like, it's, we can, create this effect where, like, a shirt runs around and you don't see anything else.
Which is kind of charming.
Yeah, like,
in its own-
it's
yeah.
fun to see, like, oh, this was, like, a big event movie where it's like, you're going to see visual effects you couldn't believe, which, has been a staple of Hollywood for,
That's right.
100 years. But... The Invisible Man's motivation is essentially just like he got a chemical in him and now he's crazy, which is not as compelling as Frankenstein, who's like, I've been rejected by my creator and I only desire love and connection and I want to smoke a cigar and drink beer, which he does in The Bride of Frankenstein. And it fucking rules.
Do we all remember the Kevin Bacon
The Hollow
Invisible
Man.
Hollow Man.
Man.
Yeah, that's a...
Great VFX, but man, oh
That
man.
shit is so fucking problematic.
It's a bit rapey.
on a rewatch, because I remember watching that a couple times as a kid, and on a rewatch, I'm just like, oh, did I know that this was,
Yeah.
that was going on? What the fuck?
I am gonna still say that the 2020 Invisible Man from Lee Winnell is
still have to
the
see
best
that.
adaptation
Yeah,
of that.
I wanna see that.
But the thing that I do like about the James Whale movie, the original, is that it's like, I'd say 90% of what Jack Griffin, the Invisible Man, gets up to is like pranks. Just pranks and bits, and he's like, ha ha ha, you can't see me. Like, he does kind of sound like that. He, like, chucks a bicycle at some people, and he goes, take your bicycle back. Ha 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 ha.
So he's a
You
shyster.
do that all the time, Zach.
It's exactly what, I do that fully visible, and then I go, you can't see me, and I run away. So if I was invisible, it would
I
work a
could
lot better.
literally see you just like tiptoe run away, like a little villain. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so that's fun. And those are the things that I watched this week.
Nice.
Because, I didn't have a lot of time to watch films.
Yeah.
You're missing one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
yeah,
gotta
Mick,
talk
what did
about
you
it.
watch?
So this week, I've also been working, not a scab, but what
Prove
was
it.
it? Friday night, right? Was it Friday night?
It was
watched that?
Friday night.
So Friday night, I get home. I'm very tired. I'm ready to go to bed. And Zach goes in going, hey, you got any plans? I'm like, not really. He's like, all right, let's drink whiskey and watch a movie. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And
Mick's a pretty easy mark for that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
I consent pretty easily.
Yeah, if I tell you, let's drink whiskey and see what the hell happens, you're always like, yeah.
All right.
And, you start taking off your clothes, and I'm like, that's not what you meant. And you're like, oh, okay.
I thought you were insinuating
I guess
it's
I'll
open to
start
interpretation.
drinking. And I'm like, we haven't even started drinking whiskey yet. And he's like, I thought I'd just jump ahead. And I'm like, no, don't do that.
It has been very hot, though.
Yes.
We
did.
I think it's understandable.
We did.
Today's a bad example, Zach. Okay?
Yeah,
we did what we typically
do,
which is we sit at the TV and we're like, what are we going to watch? We immediately go to Shudder, which is always a safe bet. And we watched a movie that I have never seen before, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I've only seen the first one, which I like, but I don't love it. It's very graphic. It's very well done. It's just a lot of screaming, which, that makes sense. But that's kind of all it is for me. And the second one, I have to say, again, if Texas Chainsaw Massacre is quintessentially 70s, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is quintessentially 80s. And that movie ruled.
Yeah.
It is so good.
It's so fun.
I love the 80s.
Crazy good.
In film.
It does the Evil Dead thing before the Evil Dead did it, where the first movie is
genuine horrific
horror. Nonstop, fast-paced horror and tension.
And the sequel is almost satire.
The second one is a comedy.
Yeah.
And
it's so over the top. I love Leatherface's wiggle. He has the chainsaw above him. He's just wiggling back and forth.
They wanted to lock me up because of the way I was moving.
And they're putting their victims into chili from the Oklahoma Texas chili competition.
What?
Yes. Yeah, the Sawyer families.
They're making chili.
Yeah, they're making chili into winning a chili making competition.
Are they putting people in it?
Of course they're putting people in the chili.
That's why everyone loves it. He's like, because I don't skimp on the meat.
I don't skimp. And then he pulled the dad, I think, pulls a tooth. Someone pulls a tooth out of it.
Yeah, he's like, there's hard peppercorns.
That's hard peppercorns in there.
Yeah, it's so funny. And like I said, I always thought that Ben-Hur had the largest sets constructed for film. That's not true. Apparently, Texas Chainsaw Massacre has the largest set ever built for any movie, anytime, anywhere.
We haven't looked this up, but emotionally, it rings so
I know
true.
It's true. And listeners, if you're listening, is that true? Don't bother looking it up, because just take my word for it. It's true to me.
Yeah,
in my heart, it's true.
The finale of the film.
It's incredible.
Oh my God.
Dennis Hopper, it's crazy because you have, Dennis Hopper, he plays this, he's not even a sheriff.
He's a lieutenant who does not have jurisdiction in Dallas. Yeah. He's related to Franklin, who was
one of the victims.
One of the victims in the first one, because this movie somehow wants you to think that it exists in the same reality as the first movie.
He double wields chainsaws.
He does dual wield chainsaw. He's a cop, Alexis. He has a gun that he could. Dennis Hopper has a gun that he could go up against Leatherface and the Sawyer family with. He elects to buy 3 chainsaws instead, run into their lair with his chainsaws, while screaming, "Bury the devil! Bring it all down!"
It's insane, because the first time I saw his character, I was like, oh, this would have been a good Tommy Lee Jones bit.
And then you get to the finale.
I'm like, absolutely not. This needed to be Dennis Hopper. It was perfect for him.
We haven't even talked about the greatest character in this film, who is Chop Top.
Yeah, Chop Top is great.
Leatherface's brother.
Incredible.
Who delivers...
That would be such good cosplay for Monster Palooza.
I was going to say I have strong feelings on what we could do as a Halloween photo shoot.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, Chop Top delivers the iconic line, "Lick my plate, you dog dick."
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's referring to the metal plate in his head.
Yeah, which he
sounds tasty.
He picks little bits of skin off of it with a coat hanger and then eat it.
Yeah, he's always heating up a coat hanger and scratching it and then picking the bits off and eating it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's a good thing I haven't eaten breakfast today, but I feel like this oatmeal's not going to go down as well.
I did eat breakfast today, and I'm already regretting what I just said. So
the bit where he gets hit in the plate with a chainsaw, and then he goes, dumb flashback.
yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah, Mick was kind of getting tired.
Yeah, like I dozed off for maybe a couple minutes.
I was like, hey, hang out. You're gonna want to see the scene on the radio station with Chop Top. You're gonna want to hang out.
Once Chop Top showed up, I was like, I could have just done. I could have just taken some Adderall because at that point I was awake. Once Chop Top comes in, I was alert. I was awake until the very end of the movie. And instead of them being at this farmhouse, they are. I mean, you could probably just take a guess. Their lair where they make this award-winning human chili is in a derelict
amusement park,
and it's just I love it. We need to buy it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna say it's as good as Demons, but
it might be.
But it's up there of just like a just crazy '80s movie, '80s horror. That and also what's the Living Dead? Is it Revenge of the Living Dead?
Return of the Living Dead.
That's another '80s horror film that just fucking slaps.
Yeah.
What a great triple feature that would be. That would be crazy.
Wow.
But yes, no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, great time.
It might come up again later this year.
I'd be down.
I'm really tempted to cover it on the pod.
It's a great Final Girl movie.
Yeah, Stretch is awesome.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Scratch, he's a DJ.
Stretch.
Is it Stretch? I thought it was Scratch.
Stretch.
Okay. Interesting name. And then yesterday I watched, in preparation for Hurricane Hillary, I watched Twister again.
Nice.
Which is always a really, really good time. And something I did not know is apparently originally that was supposed to be Tom Hanks playing the lead.
Oh, interesting.
And then he dropped out. Then it was going to be Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I can see how you could get from Kurt Russell to Bill Paxton.
And then that didn't happen. Then it was going to be Michael Keaton.
Also, Tom Hanks is kind of the odd one out in this selection. I can see the commonality between Keaton, Russell, and Paxton.
Yeah, and then it ended up on Paxton. But that's how did that happen? It was because Steven Spielberg was already in prep to direct it, and he wanted Tom Hanks. And then he dropped that. He stayed as producer, and then Kathleen Kennedy stayed on as producer, and they ended up giving it to Jan de Bont. And I forget, somehow James Cameron was attached for a bit to direct.
Jimmy!
And Robert Zemeckis. Those were also the big directors that were going to do it.
So did Cameron bring Paxton on?
That's who brought Paxton, was James Cameron.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, that movie's just such a good time. It scared the shit out of me when I was a kid in the beginning, where the father gets sucked out of the fucking bunker. That shit still unsettles me. Yeah. And Alexis, there's a dog in it. And
well, does the dog live or die?
The dog lives.
Okay, are you for real right now? Because
yeah, you've seen it, right?
I feel like we've been
really.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been pretty on the level about how dogs fare in films recently.
Yeah, no.
You seen the last voyage of the Demeter yet, Alexis?
No.
That dog definitely survives.
The dog is fine.
It doesn't get completely just.
I wouldn't describe the state of the dog as shredded at any point.
Yeah, no. That doesn't happen.
That's gonna make me sad.
And you don't see it.
Yeah.
You don't see it not die.
You guys don't get it.
No.
Like every dog I see my Mitch.
Listen, I love a dog. It's a little friend, but you know sometimes that makes it all the more effective when you annihilate one in a film.
No.
So do we have anything else?
I think that's pretty much what's been going on with me.
All right.
Yeah.
I love your shirt. It says
What's it say?
Still rendering.
Yeah, I'm wearing my 48-hour Film Fest shirt. Yeah,
oh, I see.
It's like a little...
That's funny.
Yeah. All right, well, let's hop out of what's going on. All right, and we're back. I'm gonna jump... Oh, Alexis is sweaty. Alexis is already boy sweat, Alexis. That's okay. I'm just gonna onboard us right now and give everyone a little update from halftime. So since you last heard us, Mick decided it would be a really good idea to just fully knee our granite countertop.
I didn't do it on purpose.
No, he did it on purpose. He saw that granite countertop and he was like, "Ooh, baby, I gotta knee that," and that's what he did.
Alexis was attacking me, and I was trying to defend myself. And so to counterattack her wild flailing, I decided to kick the countertop really hard with my knee. And I had to say it worked.
How did that go?
It worked. She stopped hitting me.
Yeah.
To console me.
Yeah.
As I'm in pain.
Really, the most effective way to counter an attacker is to wound yourself more than
so
they
bad.
could.
Yeah, fall on your sword.
Yeah. But yeah, we're out of what's going on.
We are.
We're back. And you know who's not here?
Alexis again.
Alexis has become Boy Sweat Alexis since we stopped recording. Yeah, she was like, I need to go put on deodorant. So she went into the other room to do that. But you know what? We're still in back to school month. And
this is our final back to school.
School is in session.
School is in session, but it's about to be out for the summer as we head into September.
Yep. We planned this well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Although I don't know how else we would do it.
It's still summer in LA, except for today with the hurricane.
Wait a minute, Alexis, you were a California kid. Zach and I were Oregon. What time did you guys go back to school? Like on average, like elementary school.
Mid-August.
Oh wow.
Yeah. See, I was talking about this.
We were out until like second week of September.
Yeah, after Labor Day.
What?
Yeah, we wouldn't start to go back until September. September was back to school month.
When were you out of school?
First week of June, usually.
We were.
Because I was out like the week before May ended.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I was usually.
Wait, no. Maybe it was like the.
I was usually out like second week of June.
Maybe that's what it is. I think first or second week of June.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was talking about it with my coworkers the other day because like we have all these background kids, and if again, child labor, they can only be on set for a certain amount of time, and if they're in school, you have to have a teacher on set and to actually put them in school for a certain amount of hours, which gives you even less time to shoot with them. So we were like, let's only work with kids that aren't in school yet. That way we can shoot with them more. But they still only have like a time limit on set, of course. But yeah, we were all like, why are there so many kids in school in mid-August? Like, what the fuck? And then people were like, yeah, no, we go back to school like August 14th. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's still so nice outside.
I don't know.
So, I'm doing my Alexis bit now. I'm having a bagel.
You're having a bagel. Big old bagel.
Gonna have to throw it away, though, because I just saw a little bit of mold on that bagel. So, But we're going to do our big topic. We're going to do our last big topic of Back to School Month.
Yes.
So, the film that we're talking about today, if you don't know, has in recent years been adapted into a Broadway musical.
Yes.
And we thought that would be kind of a fun topic. So, what are some movies that either have already or that should be adapted into musicals? For example, John Waters' Hairspray adapted into a musical.
This is a great one.
The Evil Dead adapted into a musical.
Oh, wow.
Which I haven't seen.
Seen
even though our college put it on. Moulin Rouge is already a musical.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, no, but I feel like...
we're talking about... You said movies that started that were
movies
a musical,
that should be adapted
and then
into
got adapted
a musical.
into them.
But I also made a stipulation that I can also still list movies that were already.
You see what's happening here is Alexis is like, in my head, I made a stipulation that I can also list Baz Luhrmann films, which I respect, and I support her.
Well, you know what? That was an unintended side effect, but I think maybe my brain was 10 steps ahead of me, as it sometimes not often is.
Nice. I've got a pick.
What's up?
I would say that any of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies would make good musicals because
Didn't they make that into Spider-Man the musical, or was that just a play?
Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark. Ooh, yeah. Actually, now that I'm talking about, I mean, it wasn't adapted from the Raimi movies, but they did adapt Spider-Man into a musical, and it was like the most catastrophic thing ever put on Broadway.
Yeah, like he kept getting injured, right?
Yeah, no, the lead actor
act.
fell off like his fucking harness and broke his back.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, but I guess I just mean because like the Raimi movies have such like old MGM musical energy.
Right.
You can make them film musicals. And the third one like already has 3 musical numbers in it. So it almost feels like it wants to be a musical. Mm-hmm. So that's my pick.
Nice.
Yeah. Mick, you said you had a pick that's going to get you canceled.
Yes, but I stand by it.
Great.
I think what would make a great musical, and the world would not react well to it, and with good reason, but I think it'd be funny. Paul Greengrass's United 93.
Oh my God, no.
But
What?
but only if, because there's a stipulation with this. Don't cancel me yet. Wait, hear me out.
Good God.
Yeah. So, as you know, the Muppets often adapt famous stories into musicals.
Oh, no, I was wondering when this was going to come up on the podcast.
Yeah, this is an idea I've had for years. I think it's what
So
made.
happy to give you a platform to speak on this,
it's
man.
what made Zach initially fall in love with me was when I pitched him this idea back in college. So they do, they do Treasure Island, they do A Christmas Carol,
Go
and then
back
make it a
and listen
musical.
to our Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I do that.
It's a good episode.
But what if the Muppets take United 93?
What?
I just think it would.
So you're
Look.
putting the Muppets on the plane that the passengers
Yes.
rescued in 9/11.
Yes. You'd have you'd have Rizzo the Rat, you'd have Gonzo. It'd be a Gonzo film. You'd have famous comedians in it interacting with the Muppets. Put Theo Vaughn in there. Why not? Yeah, I think that would be. Hey, at the very least, it would be entertaining. Yeah, so that's my main pick.
Wow, I really didn't think you were ever going to actually, full blown
Say that out loud.
say that pitch on the air.
Oh no! I think it's a good idea. I stand by it.
Well, it would certainly start a conversation.
Exactly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the cafe conversations afterwards?
The Muppets go away for 15 years from making feature films.
It's what finally brings down the Jim Henson Company.
Oh my God. Fuck.
They're picketing the studio down there in Hollywood. So yeah, I think that would be great. My other idea, well, it's not really an idea, but it's a story going back to what is a movie or story that was not a musical that was eventually adapted into one that I really liked, which was Sleepy Hollow. That's based, it's a book, but there was a cartoon done, I think, in the 60s, 50s or 60s, where they made it into a musical, and it was actually really good. So, yeah, that's a good one. Sleepy, Jesus Christ, Zach. Just your mouth full of moldy bread and cream cheese right now.
Yeah, I should probably throw this away.
Okay. What do you guys think about Gladiator as a musical?
That was always my pitch of a movie that would be good if you swapped the cast out with Muppets. So
Gladiator?
yes.
Interesting.
So not United 93 is what you're saying?
No, that's how that came up. Is I was like, what would be a good movie where you could switch most of the cast out with Muppets? And I was like, Gladiator, keep Joaquin Phoenix.
Right. There you go. I love it. Yeah.
I love that, yeah.
I think this is just turning into what movies should be a Muppets adaptation.
I mean, I can't really speak to that. I've still only seen a Muppets Christmas Carol.
Hey, boat month next year, we're going to roll Treasure Island.
Yeah, we got it. We
It's so
fucking
good.
got it.
With Tim Curry. It's good stuff. So yeah, those are my picks, which I stand by.
It's Alexis.
I'm not touching anything.
Okay, lean back into your mic, Alexis.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, is it picking you up, Alexis?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Alrighty. Zach, other than Gladiator, Muppets Gladiator, what are some...
Muppets Gladiator.
Muppets Gladiator.
Wait, what would be the name of Muppets Gladiator?
Oh, is it like the Muppets Take the Coliseum?
The Muppets in Rome.
The Muppets Take Rome? No. I mean, is it just the Muppets Gladiator?
The
I like
Muppets
that.
take Marcus Aurelius.
There we go.
Gone wrong. Gone sexual.
The thing is, though, you have to keep Joaquin Phoenix in there.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so movies that... You know what's a great movie that was adapted into a musical and the musical adaptation is arguably more famous? In fact, I haven't seen the original. Is Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love
That's right.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
You've never seen the movie?
The original. No.
Yeah, the one with Rick Moranis?
That's not the original. The original film is a 1950s Roger Corman movie. Like, it actually was a 50s B movie.
Funny enough, that's the only one I've seen.
You haven't seen the musical?
I have not seen the
It's
musical.
on the shelf, buddy. You gotta watch it.
That's a good one.
I've seen clips of it because of the amazing animatronic puppeteering they did.
Speaking of the fucking Muppets,
Yeah.
Frank Oz, voice of Miss Piggy, directed that film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so good. If we ever do a music cut, go it again. Also, voice of Yoda. I love that Yoda and Miss Piggy are voiced by the same guy. That fucking rocks. But yeah, that's a great, like, iconic musical reinterpretation of a film that I think totally works.
Yeah.
Mick, Alexis, anything else from you guys? Or do we want to get into our film?
You know what? I'm going to cut my losses and say nothing else because I could turn anything into a musical, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's an unfair question because I fucking love musicals.
As Mick has shown us, arguably you shouldn't, but you can.
Yeah.
Sam Peckinpah's Straw Dog.
Fuck.
The music.
Oh my God.
Get out of this apartment.
I got them all. I got them all. They came in my home and I got them all.
Oh,
Death becomes her.
Yeah, that would be a good musical.
Yeah, that would be a great
That
musical.
feels like a musical already.
Yeah, it's got that wacky energy.
But
you know?
Alexis, why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
We are talking about this because we are talking about Heathers, which has been adapted into a musical. And can I just say, I actually might like the musical better than the movie? I don't know.
Have you seen
It's
the movie
hard.
before, Heathers? Was this your first time?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is a 1988's Heathers. Best friends, social trends, and occasional murder.
Now, Alexis, could you read the description of Heathers to
From
us?
Google.
From Jujel?
You got to do the Google one.
Yeah, it's a 1988 film directed by Michael, I don't want to say Lehmann, but I think that's how it's pronounced.
Lehmann.
Lehmann, maybe? Lehmann. Lehmann? And yeah, it stars Winona Ryder and Christian Slater.
In a nice little trench coat that I love.
Christian
All right,
Slater.
guys. So, Veronica, played by Winona Ryder, is part of the most popular clique at her high school, but she disapproves of the other girls' cruel behavior. When Veronica and her new boyfriend, JD, played by Christian Slater, confront clique leader Heather Chandler, played by Kim Walker, and accidentally poison her, they make it appear a suicide. Soon, Veronica realizes that JD is intentionally killing students he does not like. She races to stop JD while also clashing with the clique's new leader, Heather Duke, played by Shannon Doherty of the 90210 and Charmed fame.
Okay. Yeah, so, Alexis, why did you pick this movie?
Mick doesn't like it.
That's fair.
Totally solid reason to
That's
pick a
totally
film.
fair.
And so I take it you do like this film.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny is that like I put it out there like a couple times and I got some negative feedback on, you know, having this as an option originally, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I guess I won't choose it. But I saw this movie probably like middle school and high school. Like I watched it like a couple times, and I just always remember thinking that like Christian Slater was like so hot. And, you know, I was an emo kid. Okay. I had mental health issues, you know, like I feel like that just says everything you need to know about probably what his character is like. He was very anti-establishment. I respected that. Now looking back, I'm just like, oh, he's a psycho.
Yeah, so
You say tomato, I say tomato.
I had not seen this film before. I think I'd seen like the first 15 minutes of it in high school.
Yeah.
And didn't really jive with it.
Yeah.
This is a movie that never would have fucking ever been made after Columbine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the finale of this, like, dark comedy is Christian Slater's character putting bombs underneath the school with the intent to blow it up, wearing his fucking trench coat, which literally was the plan of the fucking Columbine shooters. They made bombs with the intent to fucking blow up the school. It's just like, this feels kind of like a movie written by and maybe for a school shooter.
Yeah.
I was very uncomfortable. Watching this film. It feels mean.
I mean, that's kind of the point, but
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
It's definitely satirical.
So I kind of got different mileage from different stuff.
Yeah.
The, notion that, the media kind of wants teen suicide to be this epidemic because they can sensationalize it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that stuff worked pretty well, and everyone, turning the quote-unquote suicides into, for their own benefit, rang fairly true, and I thought was, effective satire. But, the movie just feels so fucking mean-spirited at points.
You're hanging out with the mean girls.
No,
of the school,
the
though.
filmmaking feels mean-spirited. Martha, the big girl who you get at the beginning fucking fat walking sound effects, I found pretty fucking unpleasant. And when she tries to kill herself, she's wearing a shirt that says fun size or something.
Big fun.
Big fun.
After she just spills her soda on herself.
That is the that song that they're talking about in it, where teen suicide, just don't do it. It's by a band called Big Fun.
Oh, well.
So that's why she's wearing a Big Fun t-shirt, because I don't know. And it's supposed to be, don't do suicide, and she's about to commit suicide.
Yeah, but also
Let's
it's like a fat,
shirt.
it's like a fat character wearing a shirt that says Big Fun.
So I think that the musical does so much better with Martha's character. Instead of having this random girl, Betty, who is Veronica's friend that she had ditched in order to become friends with the Heathers, she had ditched Martha instead.
Makes more sense to me.
Yeah, that's a good...
The final moment...
really good change.
Yeah, the final moment of the film is Veronica, asking Martha if she wants to come hang out. Which I thought was nice.
Yeah.
But I do think that would be a more effective moment if, Martha is the character. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should watch the musical.
It is so good. I've seen it 4 times.
I've heard the song, 2 of the songs. I've heard You Make My Balls So Blue.
You make my balls so blue. They're hanging sadly.
And I've also heard I Love My Dead Gay Son.
Yeah, love that one.
That's the part that really made me laugh.
Yeah, that's a really fucking fun.
With the suicide, the quote-unquote suicide, where they're in their football helmets.
Yeah,
that shit was funny.
Yeah, the 2 jock dudes who are just so fucking gross.
I love my dead gay son.
They
it's kind of sweet.
JD and Veronica make it look like they killed each other in a suicide pact because they were gay together. And one of their dads just goes I love him. I love my dead gay son.
Yeah. The funerals were pretty funny. Again, that satire works for me.
Visually, I really like this
with
movie.
The 3D glasses. That shit was funny.
The
production design is good.
The production design's fucking awesome. The lighting is so fucking fun.
Yeah, cinematography's good.
I am glad that I watched this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I particularly liked it,
You know what's really funny you say about production value? There's moments in it where I'm just gosh, where are they? It looks almost fake sometimes, but it works for me because it's the movie itself is so farcical in some ways. That's kind of a fun thing to have. Even the sets look a little fake sometimes,
Yeah, it makes sense to me that they lifted 2 actors from Beetlejuice to be in this.
Yeah,
because the priest is also from Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, he's the friend of the mom, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her heart was in Antarctica. That bit was funny where it's like, all you got to do is, man, I usually underline the sentences. That's brilliant.
Yeah, just
underline
one
Eskimo.
word.
And it's like so stupid. But then like once the public and the media get a hold of it, they just start reading into it with all this quote unquote subtext.
So funny though is that like if you think about it, like because I was an English major for a really long time, and we're always reworking these things that people have written and like inferring things, and I would occasionally have these thoughts of like, but what if they didn't mean anything more than just what that was?
Yeah.
What if there was no symbolism and we're just the ones that are now coming up with this symbolism?
That's why critical theory I struggle with sometimes, because sometimes it just feels just so
for me, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's why it's fun.
It's mental masturbation.
Make your own
Yeah.
meaning. Yeah, I love it.
Exactly.
That's how I get off.
Oh my God, that is how I get off.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, man.
There's some I think the reason why I remember this movie so much is number one, Christian Slater and Winona Ryder, but also there's just so many fucking like iconic lines from this movie. It's like, fuck me gently with a chainsaw. Do I look like Mother Teresa? Like it's very fun,
I did enjoy when, what's the last Heather's name? Heather Duke? Mm-hmm. Her using the phrase, why are you pulling my dick?
Yeah.
That is a line that I've only heard delivered by Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny before. You pulling my dick, bro? So it was very surprising to hear come out of a teenage girl in the 1980s. So one other thing that I kind of take issue with in this movie is I feel like the movie doesn't... In some ways, it kind of lets Veronica off the hook really easily.
Yes, it does.
The idea that she doesn't know that the bullets are going to kill the fucking football players.
Bullets.
Like she's nominally a very intelligent character. That's what the movie tells us. But like when JD tells her this line of like, no, the bullets are just gonna make it look like they're dead, but they're not gonna be dead. I'm like, fuck off. And they kind of get into it with him being like, you didn't know because you didn't want to know.
Right.
But like, the movie doesn't really dig into that very heavily. And I'm like, she knew.
Yeah.
She knew that like you would have to be such a. It is like too much of an ask for me to be like, she didn't know that these bullets from a gun were going to kill these guys.
Veronica isn't stupid. I
guess I don't really think about it like that. I think of it more like it's really playing on we do really stupid things when we think that we really like a person sometimes, and we're willing to like look past a lot of things. So it's like, it's not like that I'm questioning, like, did she know? But I'm like, but how far was she willing to go to like make him happy and like, I don't know, just like do what he wants, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I just wish that had been like fleshed out more or explored more, because the way it played for me, I was just like, je m'excuse.
Je m'excuse.
Yeah. Her arc is pretty outlandish, when she
Dear
gets to
diary.
the end and she's just like, hey, I don't have a date for prom. You just want to hang out and, eat popcorn and watch a movie. She's like, I love that. And then it's just like, I don't know. After everything she's done, she just gets such a convenient, like, get out of jail free card.
Why not?
I mean, sure.
She killed 4 people!
Yeah, like there's just there's no comeuppance for her. Okay. There's no comeuppance at all.
Technically, it was the Heather Chandler was not her fault. Like.
Okay, she killed 3 people. Excuse me.
But I mean, again, this is all just satire. That's a thing.
I
so
guess
it's hard for me to be like that mad at it, because I think it's a movie that is very aware of itself. It's just, I do agree with Zach where it's like, in other ways, it isn't.
Yeah, and
think
it
it's-
just plays very different now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like now I watch this and I'm like, oh wow, this is very problematic. Okay, so you know the scene where like she goes on this double date with the boys the night before and they're trying to tip a
the
cow.
cow tipping.
Oh my god, I was literally talking to Rika. I was just like, how do you even tip a cow? Why do you tip a cow? Like, what's the... Anyways. But
It's all
in
in the
that
leverage.
scene, is somebody getting SA'd in the background? Is the other Heather? Because, like, you can see her, like, under the guy, but she's, like, flailing around, like, the whole scene. Like, they're in the corner, and she's just, like, flailing around. And me and Enrique were just, like, watching this, and we were just like...
Wait, who's Enrique?
And roommate? Oopsies.
You've done that like 3 times this
I know.
episode.
Can you bleep it?
I might.
Might not.
Yeah, but no, like we went on for like at least like a minute long, like where they're just like in the background in the corner, but you can clearly see her kind of just like pushing him or like flailing, and then Veronica's having a kind of a conversation like in the foreground, you know, but that's literally just the background. And I know that that's not funny, but that actually made me laugh the hardest. Because
I'm not the most problematic person here.
I think because I was so...
I gotta find something to say before the end of this episode.
we gotta round it
I'm
out.
feeling left out.
I was just so surprised at what I was like, are they for real? Is that really what's happening? I think it's supposed to be you satirize, you know, the whole kind of like high school experience and stuff of like stupid jock boys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, date rape
yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, they do bring that back when JD says that all those dudes had to offer this school were date rapes and AIDS jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
when he put it
you're
that
probably
way,
right.
And
Yeah,
one of my
yeah.
favorite things about like them killing Ram and what was the other guy? Kurt and Ram, is that like they're, you know, as typical jock boys, they're like acting like very homoerotic in many different ways, like constantly. And then I think there's even something that like kind of foreshadows it, but it's very fitting that like, oh, they did you hear Kurt and Ram killed themselves in a repressed gay suicide
those
pact.
two cops that like find them and they're like, oh, like they're snogging in the car. It's like, ooh, are they naked?
Yeah, look
And
at
then-
the two straight teens.
Yeah, like, oh god, what was it like? Oh, like a quarterback and a linebacker. What a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes a doodle.
Another bit that I was like, "Woo, this hasn't aged well," but again, it's not the movie's fault. Is in the very beginning where JD, after those two bullies, the two jocks come over and try to scare him, and he pulls a gun. He pulls a .45 Magnum on him,
Straight up a gun.
Yeah.
and shoots him. And then it cuts away. We're like, "Holy fuck!" Shooting in the cafeteria. And then he's back in school the next day because, oh, he only used blanks. Like, that's something. It's like...
Well, if you see the fucking
That
people that
wouldn't-
are running the school and like how they talk to each other.
I do enjoy the adult characters in this.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite form of satirizing here. Like the
faculty.
The faculty, Veronica's parents were always eating pate. They're just so fucking in a whole nother world. But I do love the scene where Veronica's mother, Veronica's like, we just want to be treated like adults, and like you are being treated like adults, like kind of like this whole thing of like, oh, the world sucks and society, just doesn't treat us with respect. All we want is to be treated with respect, and it's like that's basically you coming out of you're coming into adult consciousness where you realize you're not a kid anymore. So that's just you reckoning with, this is adulthood in modern society.
I think the whole movie is just kind of this thing of like, oh, even if you're still a kid, your actions really do have consequences, whether or not that's making somebody feel like shit when you're bullying them or fucking murdering a student, and except for the fact that we do not underline that because Veronica does not get any consequences in the end, and I'm 100% for that. I'm 100% for that.
You heard it here first, kids.
I'm behind Veronica.
And it's kind of funny that
Veronica did nothing wrong.
it is kind of funny that we've like bookended this month with like a movie that's like largely were riding with the jocks.
Yeah.
And now we're riding with school shooter.
Yeah, that's the full spectrum right there.
Oh no!
Inside you, there are two wolves.
You know this
A
movie.
jock.
And one is heavily armed.
This movie is kind of considered like a cult classic.
It is. This has a big following.
Yeah, and I mean like
This is probably the most
All the-
popular movie we've talked about this month.
yeah. well, no,
more than
Dazed and
Dazed and Confused?
Dazed and Confused is very popular.
Maybe it's comparable, but I don't know.
in a
I've-
different, it's in a different like way because like Dazed and Confused, I feel like everybody can agree like, oh my god, that movie's so good.
Maybe
and
it's
so
because
fun.
I came up with a bunch of theater kids in high school, but I,
think-
feel like I heard this
Yeah.
movie discussed more when
Well,
I
I
was
that's
in
think
high
true.
school.
this movie's very polarizing, you know, because it's like
Yeah.
either you fucking don't like it that
Which-
much or you really fucking
Which is
like
something-
It conjures strong feelings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would like
yeah.
to say, Alexis, you picking this as don't like it, I completely salute that. When I first saw this years ago, it was hard for me to pay attention. I just didn't dig it. I didn't know why this was so popular. On a rewatch, I still don't care for it that much, but I have warmed to it.
Yeah.
Actually, I enjoyed it more on this round because precisely that it does swing for the fences. It is saying something. I may not like it, but it is making bold choices, and I found it less boring, and therefore I do admire it a bit more for that.
Yeah.
Even if what it's saying is like, oh, don't know about that.
Yeah.
Has it aged well?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that like it's like, oh, that didn't really age well. But then there's other things that I'm like,
I don't know if this was ever supposed to age well at all. I think it was supposed to be in poor taste. I think it was like a dark
But
comedy made in poor taste,
yeah.
specifically.
But again,
you know?
need to remember that
And-
that's not the film's fault that it hasn't
But-
aged well.
But then it's also like it's a product of the mid '80s,
yes.
you know.
Exactly.
So,
It's exactly that. And it's not the movie's fault that basically what it was in a way satirizing and predicting ends up kind of happening in society for decades to come, which is really sad.
But another thing that I'm like, I think that I particularly enjoy it is that I love seeing movies sometimes that like satirize the whole mean girl thing because, you know, as a girl who did experience high school, you know, some of those experiences ring a little true.
As someone who was a mean girl,
No,
I
I
say.
was not
Bullying other
a
kids.
mean girl. I was not a mean girl.
were you one of the plastics?
I was I was hanging out with kids like not like JD, what the fuck?
Hold on.
I don't know if they even had kids like the kids that I was. Fuck, who was I saying the other day? Oh yeah, Eddie Munson. So throwing it back to my alarm. I was actually hanging out with kids kind of like him in high school, like the last couple of years. Like we had the only goth kid in our group, and then you know
The
like
one
bunch of
token
my
goth kid.
bunch of my, you know, my friends were all like, you know, they listen to like metal or like, you know,
That's
Dead
fun.
Kennedys, punk, you know, like they were,
Dead Kennedy's fucking rule.
yeah, Dead Kennedys great. No, so I was definitely not one of the plastics. I mean, freshman year I hung out with some popular kids, but I really realized
How did
like
that go for you?
it was fine. I just didn't have a lot to talk about with all of them.
Yeah.
It's because you were
especially the
smarter than
boys.
them. You were more of an intellectual.
No, I'm telling you, like, there was, you know, those are all kids that, you know, they're like in ASB and like things like that, you know, like they're popular, but they're also really involved with the school or like they're friends with all these jock boys. And I fucking hate jocks. I fucking hate jocks, which is maybe why I like this movie so much. I'm like, the boys that are date raping the girls get fucking murdered. They get nuked. Am I mad about
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that is
In
one
the
of my
movie,
favorite
maybe
lines
not.
with JD's like, oh, so yeah, we're gonna like fucking cry. Like, don't cry over spilled milk. That's a line, but that's basically what
Yeah.
he's saying. You
Yeah.
know, he's not gonna be bullying people, like date raping people. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not feeling that bad about it.
Well, are we coming back around to being pro school shooter?
No.
No.
Is that the stance this podcast is
No,
taking?
no.
Man, I thought
Veronica Sawyer did nothing wrong.
Jesus.
Woo!
JK, kind of.
Oh, Jesus, Eric
This
Harris.
is our 50th episode and our final episode.
Yeah, we had a good run.
We had a good one.
Oh my god.
Zach, you better say something fucked up before we wrap.
I did.
For real.
Neither of you just heard it. So.
Yeah, another thing that like Heather Duke is like always throwing up, but then as soon as like Heather Chandler dies, she's literally in the locker room eating like a chicken leg. Like
Yeah.
you guys saw that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. This movie is funny.
There's
Yeah.
definitely moments, you know.
I
I think that this movie is kind of an interesting counterpoint to Mean Girls. Like, Mean Girls definitely owes a lot to this movie.
Yeah.
I think that the thing that works for me more with Mean Girls, I guess, is what you're talking about. Veronica did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Mean Girls, Katie kind of gets her fucking comeuppance.
Yeah.
Like, it does interrogate her behavior and doesn't, like, let her off the hook.
Yeah.
In the same way that this movie does, and I feel like the behavior's a lot more extreme.
Yeah.
But... You know, it's a fantasy, it's a satire.
But then again, she's also like an upper middle class white girl.
So is Veronica.
No, I mean, Veronica's an upper middle class white girl, and I could believe that she could get away with that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
This also, this film does follow a fine tradition of 80s movies where Winona Ryder ends up with another extremely pasty person.
Yeah. His eyebrows are crazy.
Yeah, Christian Slater has a fucking insane face.
He's so hot in this movie.
He's so hot.
Hot. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Well, fuck me in that trench coat.
It's that damn JD. He's so hot right now.
You know what Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Wait, guys, his relationship with his father. That
shit was funny. That shit's so funny.
The fact that, like, he's like, yeah, last time I saw my mom, she was waving out a library window, and then you find out that the dad was blowing up that building, and she walked into that building 2 minutes before it was going to blow up.
He's watching it on VHS.
And then waves at him. I'm like, what the fuck?
This is a
like,
dark
no
film.
wonder he's a fucking psycho.
Yeah, because the dad
that
also,
father
like,
and that mom, Jesus.
he talks about how there was someone in another building that he demolished too. Like, the dad is also killing people.
Yeah.
It's real unsettling.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, no, Veronica's like 100% like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, what
the
does
fuck is
Veronica
going on?
ask JD about his dad? Where it's like, do you even like him or something like that? And he's like, I never even considered
Never gave the question much thought.
Yeah, which says a lot. Actually, I think that says a lot about him.
It says a lot about society. One thing that I do enjoy quite a bit in this movie is the little, like, because I think a few times JD is either referred to as Jesse James, or I think Veronica compares them to Bonnie and Clyde at one point. And whenever JD shows up, you get this, like, little cowboy kind of sting of music.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I like that element
I
of
saw
the score.
Definitely saw the parallels with Bonnie and Clyde. Also saw the parallels with Scream, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just these fucking psycho fucking teen killers that are just doing it because, it's like they just want to watch the world fucking
They're just
burn.
bored.
Yeah, they're bored.
Yeah, they're bored.
Yeah. This is literally the high school experience. What kind of fucking shitty trouble can we get into now?
Yeah, it's a lot more lighthearted in Dazed and Confused, but you do see the real inner darkness of that in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The extreme nihilism of being a teen.
I do also love, though, that this movie doesn't pull punches with, like, the high school experience in the way, like, when they go to this college party, it's dingy, it's gross, there's people drunk everywhere, and then she just fucking throws up on the carpet before they leave, which is really, you think the things are going to be cooler than they are, but that's about what it is. It's literally just a dingy hallway, dingy room, dingy living room, and you're all just drinking, and then people get sick and people fuck.
Yep.
In that order.
If you, God, that just makes me think about this bit from this. I think the podcast is Come Town. They have a bit called Hot Couch Theory, which really describes a part of the college experience that I think everyone has had, where you wake up on a hot leather couch, faux leather couch in some room, extremely hungover when you're like 19 with like a blaring headache, and you feel like if you move any direction, it's going to hurt more, and then you start hearing a sound, and you realize that you've been hearing this sound for the past hour, and you turn and look, and it's the DVD menu for Too Fast and Too Furious. And that's the kind of energy that the college party in Heather's has.
Yeah,
it has hot
100%.
couch energy.
You know, side note, Heather gets mad at her for not coming back into the party because she's like, hey, we're hanging out with these guys. Da, 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 da. That shit's real, okay? People, and I will not name any names because I people grow, they change. But I have definitely been looped into going back into a party or back into things just because one of my girlfriends was like, no, but like we're hanging out with his friend and his friend likes you and da 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 da. And I'm like, cool, I guess I'll just go back in and get date raped maybe. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that dude's so fucking gross at the college party.
Gross. Fucking nasty.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know. This movie.
Don't be a douchebag.
Yeah,
and
don't
nobody
be
will
a
have
fucking
to kill
creep.
you.
Yeah. Wow. I
just really like dark comedies like this. I don't know.
God.
But justice for Martha Dunstock. Justice for Martha.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I saw it. Mm-hmm. I'm glad. I feel like this is, kind of a cultural touchstone film that I had not seen.
There was a slew of John Hughes movies, in the early to like mid 80s and then later in the 80s. And they were like the quintessential, like, oh my God, high school movies. But it was like, love stories, and I feel like this came and it was like, oh, this is not what we thought it was going to be.
It honestly kind of reminds me of Blazing Saddles, satirizing the very popular Western genre.
Yeah.
And this does the same with the very popular, like, John Hughes types films.
I do also love the use of color in it because every single one of the four girls, so the three Heathers and then Veronica.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't
stated,
colors. For those of you who haven't seen this film, all of the popular girls are named Heather.
Heather, yeah. Heather Duke, Heather Chandler, and Heather fucking whatever.
That is her last name.
McGraw!
And Veronica. And they don't really like state it in, and this is why I like the musical a little bit better, is because like it's very clear that the reason why she became friends with these girls in the first place is because she wanted to not be a loser anymore, essentially. And she's like, I can write notes like really well. Like I can do forgeries of anything, like medications.
Oh yeah.
Passes, whatever.
I thought that came across.
You thought it came across?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much was her into this group. But she's always in blue. Heather Chandler, the main bitch, is always in red. And then Heather Duke's in green. And then the other girl is in yellow. And after Heather Chandler dies, you can see that Heather Duke starts to wear red.
She starts to become the devil of this school.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was I thinking? Oh, man. Yeah, so the note forging aspect of this film is something we didn't really get into, which is also super fucked up.
It is really fucked up.
Part of why JD and Veronica are able to stage these murders as suicides is because Veronica is really good at forging people's handwriting.
Yeah.
It's kind of talented. Have either of you seen The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I did not expect from this film, because in that movie, Matt Damon's character is like able to, pass off that someone he killed is still alive because he can do vocal impressions and forge handwriting really well. Yeah, but I feel like the movie isn't really as much on his side as as Heather's is for Veronica.
Yeah.
But, maybe I just gotta let that go. Maybe I just gotta roll with it. Maybe I just gotta accept that Veronica did nothing wrong. Maybe
Yeah. Can I just say that one of my favorite moments is,
Please.
When Veronica's faking her own death and it looks like she's hung herself and JD comes in the window and he's
that was funny.
He's like, well, shit. I mean, I really didn't think you'd do it. I mean, I was coming here to kill you.
And he has his magnum with him.
Fucking gun with him. He's like, I was coming here to kill you, but why the fuck you kill yourself? Like, we could have worked this out, Like, and then he leaves, right? Because he's like, I'm gonna go blow up the fucking school. And
Classic.
Then she's still hanging there for a minute. Her mom comes in and sees her just fucking hanging there, and then starts to say this oh, I guess I could have been nicer. I guess I could have done this and da-da-da. And then she just pops her head up. Hey, Mom, what's up?
Yeah.
And her mom's not phased.
No. It's just like, what?
One of my favorite visual gags in this is underneath the bleachers at the end, the dynamite's there, and you see someone light a match, and it comes down, and it's just the stoner girl lighting a joint.
Oh my god, yeah, that did make me laugh. That was a great visual gag. Yeah, you know, what a picture.
What a picture.
You
What
know,
a picture.
You know what?
I can see why this is an Alexis film. This makes sense to me
Yeah.
as a cornerstone Alexis piece of cinema.
Mildly problematic, but
Yep.
funny.
Yeah, and there's a hot, sickly-looking white man.
Yep. It has all of the Alexis staples.
It really does. It really does.
Do we have anything else on Heathers?
No, I think we're actually pretty comprehensive here.
Yeah, fuck the shitty jokes. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Well,
But
don't.
also, fuck the angry nerds,
yeah,
too.
yeah. Don't shoot up your school.
Don't
Just
shoot
don't
up.
be.
Don't-
you know what?
don't do
Let's
things that,
let's
you
amend
know.
that statement. Let's go back to what Alexa said. Just don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a dick.
douchebag.
This
Yeah.
is a message to our 1% of listeners who are under 18. Don't be a fucking dick. Okay?
Yeah.
Be nice to people at your school. High school's miserable.
High school is miserable. Most of us are miserable. Don't take it out on others.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now, with that warm and important message, we're out of back to school month.
Yep.
And what are
Come
we
and
doing?
gone.
What are we doing next month, guys?
International Cinema Month.
So I think what we're gonna try to
Zach
do
changed his mind.
going forward.
Well, it's technically still
Yeah,
a
I think
big umbrella there.
I think what we're going to try to do going forward is each subsequent year during International Cinema Month, we're going to focus on the cinema of a different continent.
Yes.
And this year, we are starting with Asian cinema.
Yes, but
of course.
I want to say something. I would like to exclude India from this conversation.
typical Zach.
Because India
So
is its
xenophobic.
own subcontinent, and it has so many different film industries within it.
Yeah, no, I
that
agree.
I would like to save India.
India needs its own dedicated.
I do think that India should get its own month.
India should get its own month.
I think that it deserves it.
Wait, this is going to be a stupid question. What is Australia?
Nope.
Australia is a continent.
It's a continent, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Okay.
not a part of Asia. So
No,
No,
it's
no,
not.
Wow, Mick, thank you.
Good job, man.
I didn't know at all.
I'm just here to lay
I
it
heard
straight.
that my brain just fly off in the distance before I asked that question. Thank you so much.
Like Australia does not apply to this.
Good job, Mick. Hey, Mick, what's 9 times 4?
9 times 4 is 35.
No, it's not. You know, the fun thing about multiples of 9 is that the numbers always add up to 9. At least all of the multiples of 9 from 1 to 10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So our first movie.
I have a pick for our first movie.
Yes.
It-
Say it.
Coincides with this film's re-release.
Say it.
It's its 20th anniversary. And that would be
Give it to me.
Park Chan-wook's transgressive classic, Old Boy.
Yay!
Park Chan-wook!
We're
Yes.
starting with Park
Man.
We're
Chan-wook.
fucking
It's my
getting
man right there.
into our boy Park Chan-wook.
My weird guy.
Yes.
You're a weird guy, yeah.
It's
I guess
Old
all of them
Boy.
are
You
weird
have
guys.
Park Chan-wook. He has Paul Rubens.
I don't. He's not my guy.
Well,
nor
no,
is Ed
you're right.
Helms.
Ed Helms is
nor
your
is
guy.
Ed Helms. But yes, Old Boy, 2003 film, directed by Park Chan-wook, starring Choi Min-sik and Kang Hye-jung. I'm fucking butchering it, but
Oh,
you know
my
what?
God.
I have a guest who
Yeah, let's
might
just-
be able to pronounce these things correctly.
Alexis, go ahead. Take it away.
I'm all,
Amend this, please.
oh, Hyejung? I think it's, Hyejung. Kang Hyejung. Choi Min-sik.
That's not much better.
All right. Well, again,
Let's quit while we're ahead.
I have someone from Korea who I can bring in.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking Old Boy next week, and
I'm
if
excited to
you
finally see it all the way
want
through.
to find Old Boy, you are not going to be able to online because it is. It has been made extremely fucking hard to find.
Wait, then how are we going to watch it?
We're
I
gonna
own
go
it.
see it. Oh, Alexis owns it. We're gonna go see it in theaters, buddy.
When?
Whenever we want, we could go today.
I can't do today.
Well, that's
what about
your
Saturday?
problem.
What
Oh
about
my
Saturday
God.
next week?
Yeah, I think I can do Saturday next week.
Okay.
Great.
Because we're both working during the week.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, Old Boy, it's our film, and go see it in theaters. You can
Can't
try
wait.
to find a DVD of it, although like it's been kind of out of print in the States for a bit.
How are viewers going to watch it?
Well, figure it out. I'm not here. Go to a theater. It's
feel
getting
like-
a pretty big re-release.
I feel like we never like list out any trigger warnings, but
I mean, this one should have probably had one.
it's probably should
A lot of discussions of suicide, sexual assault, school shootings. So trigger warning for Old Boy for just kind of all the stuff.
For everything.
Yeah,
It's a Park Chan-wook movie.
Yeah.
violence. Park Chan-wook, he loves a little mild incest.
Wow, spoilers.
Is there such thing as mild incest? I didn't know incest was on a spectrum.
Stoker.
Hardly know her.
I'm like, fuck. Stoker.
Hardly know her.
Stroker, stoker,
Yeah.
smoker.
Never mind. I don't
All
know
right.
too. Yeah.
There's incest in this film.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Old Boy, go see it in theaters. And if you want to find us, the Film Majors, on the internet, you can find us at Film Majors Pod on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And shoot us an email at filmmajorspod@gmail.com. Berate us. Just go after us.
We deserve it now.
Yeah,
We really deserve it now.
We've really put in the work
It's
to earn it.
9:30 and we've been so problematic for the beginning of the day.
Yeah,
What
we
the
were-
fuck?
Alexis,
I'll be
you
honest
started
with you.
this episode tired, and you really warmed the fuck up.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Spicy hot.
This episode kind of gave me the ick, and it's our own fault.
You're the one. Okay,
You're the one.
Yeah. Well,
I am innocent.
Yeah.
I am baby.
you're okay.
All right. Now I really have the ick.
Bye.